Hi guys, it's Mary McIntyre. Welcome back to my channel. This is a quick video showing you what I've done this year to improve or try to improve this swings ride. So I will put the link to the video of me making this up at the top somewhere. I really love the swings, I love the dolls, but the top of the parasol was just plain black because I didn't have time to weather it. The central stalk on this was really shoddy. I basically just used foam sheets, glued them all together, painted fake lights on them, and then covered them in actual lights. So I wanted to do some stuff to improve the way that that looked, and the first thing I did is find a piece of drain pipe that would slip over the parasol stalk and the handle that puts the umbrella part up. I had a piece of brown drain pipe just lying around in the garden, so I went over it just with the intention of it looking like the paint had already started to fade it off. So I was using white acrylic with a tiny bit of black added, deliberately not giving it a thick coat so that some of the underneath showed through. Once that was on, I then just kind of got some darker grey and put a few splodges of that on, and then even darker grey after that. So I was kind of going increasingly dark and just make sure that it still looked really bitty and weathered. Once I'd done the painting on that, I went ahead and did some graffiti, just some random scribbles on there, again to make it look old and abandoned. Next up, I was weathering the parasol, so this was just using white acrylic paint, and everywhere that there was a stalk on the parasol I went over with white so it looked like the paint had rubbed off, so this giving the impression that this was a solid object that was black once and the paint is coming off and the grey undercoat is kind of showing through. So I just basically focused most of the paint around the edges of the stem there, but also put quite a few splodges on the whole thing, and I think it made a massive difference to this. It just looked too new before, so it definitely doesn't look new now. So you saw me making the new pipe for the swings ride. The other thing that we've done, my husband has done, we've used an Arduino and a strip of LED lights. So I bought the LED lights, which are kind of on this strip. They do have sticky back plastic on them that you can peel off and stick, but these are going to be outside. And although at the moment the weather forecast is clear, I don't want to risk rain getting onto them, so my husband ordered this kind of silicone sleeve for them to go into. So these have been programmed to change colours and slowly, like changing colour along the length of this 3 metre length of LED. It's got a power supply on there, and so this is the Arduino, and my husband's used some programming code to get the sequence of colours. I have no idea how to do any of that, so he did that for me. So now I want to wrap this round the central spike in a spiral. I cannot be bothered measuring the external diameter or circumference of this, I should say, and the length of this, and actually measuring what the curve needs to be, what the slant needs to be. I'm just going to kind of do a test run and wrap it round and get a vague idea for how much it needs to wind. So yeah, I'm going to start so that the power comes out at the bottom of the tube. That way we can run the power supply in a waterproof bag or a box or something at the bottom. If the power's coming from the top of the umbrella, it's going to be difficult. So yeah, I'm just going to lay this out, and I'm going to stick it on with hot glue, which I hope is strong enough. It should be. I'm going to glue it as much of the length as possible so it should hold quite securely. Okay, so that's probably about the right amount of the angle of the winding round. I can't think of the words, you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to heat up my glue gun, but I've got another very important job to do first.
So I was just using hot glue here. I loosened the wires a little bit. I'd already marked a pencil line where I wanted the thing to wind round, so I had a bit of a guide. I wasn't too worried if I veered away from that guide. I don't want this to look perfect. So yeah, the hot glue struggled to stick in some places, but for the most part it held. I added a little bit of duct tape and some string at the top and bottom just to make sure it was really secure. So this is the color sequence that my husband Mark has programmed into the Arduino. So the LEDs are changing color and the colors are kind of just running along the length of the lights. So it's kind of making that whole thing look really spirally. I wish that I had something even bigger than this pipe, but this kind of did the job. So once that was done, it was just a case of putting everything together. So I added some grey creepy cloth here as well. I'm not sure about the creepy cloth. I may kind of pin some more of it up. It kind of, I haven't made my mind up if I like that. I really much prefer the weathering. I think it looks really cool, dirty, even though most people aren't tall enough to see the top of this. But I really, really love how it turned out, and I'll insert a clip of this in Twilight so you can see the LEDs better. I've also added some battery LED lights, some green LED lights around the top of the parasol. So you can see here the roller coaster that I made in my previous video looks awesome with the swings ride in the background, and there's like a bunch of other stuff that we've got going on in the garden. So yeah, I've got pretty much everything out already, and it's going to look really cool on Halloween when I've got all the lights on. So the lights are only going to be switched on Halloween. I'm not leaving those running the rest of the time. But I just love how this turned out. Oh, I added the ivy as well. There was some ivy that I used in my candelabra video, sticking that in the middle the way that I've got old like weeds growing up through the roller coaster. I've got the ivy growing down through the swings ride. So that's it. I hope you really enjoyed watching this. It's just minor modifications, but I think they have made a difference. I really hated the central spike on last year's swings ride incarnation. I will be doing a full Halloween decorations tour on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that one. That's all for this video. Thanks guys, bye for now.